Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. And here's another video with a crypto update. But before I do an update, I want to actually let you guys know I don't always stream to Facebook, but I do stream quite a bit to YouTube. So if you want to see all my videos, please find me at YouTube. Go to youtube.com or open your YouTube app. Search under the search bar for Slavic space D, and you'll be able to subscribe, click ring the bell, and be able to see all the videos by going to the channel, selecting videos, and watching all the videos as they were uploaded. There'll be quite a bit of new videos with new approach coming up, so definitely you will have a lot of interest. Now, let's get back to crypto. I do apologize. I have been silent for a little bit because I needed to actually find myself and kind of retune myself with the inner me. Some people say the spiritual side of me would connect with the soul, or had that feeling. Whatever you guys call it, end of the day, is the inner you that do not die when your body dies. And I might have actually in the future sometime a video based on that topic. But today, I actually have a certain thing that you guys might remember. I had a video where we actually gonna go to 28,000, kind of doing something what we are doing here right now. And we actually did quite a bit of that. 3 days ago actually came up to 48,000, came back. Now my personal opinion is, as you guys can see this trend line that I actually put together and how nicely Bitcoin is traveling up this trend line, and as right here is pulling out, we will probably close, maybe even pull a little bit back down as we close this candle, so we can actually come back to the trend line and continue that following up until the end of this trend period. The only question it exists, will we make it $48,000 before our trend turns around and we break through this trend and actually start our drop? Or maybe the drop will not exist at all. At this point, I cannot answer other than you guys remember at my beginning a couple videos, I said eventually Bitcoin will drop to $8,000. Now, what I do have a feeling of, as we look back and we look at the history, every time we had that wick, or as I like to call it, a tail, because I'm not sure if that is even considered a wick or what wick is. Based on listening to some videos, I'm kind of starting to get a feeling that it's not the tail that's considered the wick. The wick is actually the whole candle, or I might even misunderstand what actually it is. So be nice if somebody could comment and clear up that to me. But every time as we see the tail of that candle is long, usually over the period of time, as you guys can see, we bounce up or down, but end of the day, we come back and we trade that whole tail. So my understanding is either now or later, but we will come up to 48,000. There's a good possibility we'll do that in the next couple of more days, but it might actually be up and down road as we travel up. We might actually have at the end a big shut up of a candle coming to 48, closing at 48, reversing back the next day, and actually start a trend back. The only question is when. Now, will we do that before we break down? There's a good possibility it is. Now the other question is, will we get down up to the 48,000 Will there be enough of traders to actually continue the trend up and will actually prevent the fall down? That question I cannot answer right now. But I don't know one thing. If we don't come back to the 28,000, 29,000 and lower in the next week or so, we will definitely come back when all markets will be collapsing to cover up the real truth, what's going behind the scenes. And that I can actually guarantee you. If we won't fall drop right now, when all markets drop, that is guaranteed $8,000 per Bitcoin, if not even lower. There's actually a possibility of Bitcoin dropping so low that it might not actually ever recover back to where it was. That is still reality is to see. Depends how bad the fall of all markets will be, which my personal calculation, or at least the feeling that I actually have of the fall, will be a sorrow to a lot of people. Will be so painful. A lot of people. Let's actually not go there, because some of you will not even understand and actually will consider me I'm fell off my bike and actually went cuckoo. So I'll go there. But one thing I can say, there is a good possibility of trading. I personally decided actually to stay and watch what happens and take the ride down. I will be running another video based on calculation. Let's actually do this during this video so you guys can actually understand how risky actually to do um, short in crypto and any other trade. I am going to open up a Binance account, but let me make sure that everything is set up. Yes, it is set up. And let's actually do some calculations. During this calculation, I will not be able to see a screen if you guys do message, so do apologize. And a little bit of patience. I am actually going to do this in Bitcoin. This will allow you guys to BTC relate more easier, which actually in a XRP or XLM, the results can even be a lot more worse, or even as simply as Doge. Actually, you know what? Let's do XRP. And I kind of have covered an idea what you guys are getting. There's a possibility of going in the near future with Bitcoin. So this is actually going to be XRPX RPUSDT. And we're going to switch to XRP so I can actually have some prices so we can match. And why a lot of traders do not recommend trading shorts, and why I am hesitant when I do and don't want to get stuck in a trade. So as you guys can see, I am in XRP mode. So right now we can open up a calculator in XRP mode, which will allow us to calculate. Let's say an example. We enter a trade right now at the price of 70 cents. And right now we're going to go short. And let's say the price goes to $2 like we had at the high. And we took a $10,000 trade. We're going to calculate. When the price gets to 2,000, we decide not to sell, trying to wait until we go to a reverse, because Slavic and few other YouTubers promised actually that we're gonna come back to 8,000 in Bitcoin. That means we should get back to about 20 cents in XRP. So I want to get that down right, and I don't want to close that trade. That means you will need to have a minimum in your account $18,000. Otherwise, it, they will liquidate you. Now, let's say we have a super run and we get to $8. Because if this run will consider to be a super run, which I don't believe it is, but I might be wrong, and we get a lot of people on this trade, and we'll actually surpass where we were the last time high of 65,000. The next possibility is about 150 to 180,000 before we get another reversal, and that can happen before September, before that big, huge crash. If we were to do that, that means XRP will be at least at $8. That means you will need to have in your account 104,000 in order to avoid a I call it as a foreclosure, but it's liquidation. But if Bitcoin gets 160, don't you think XRP will be at least at 15, let's say $20? That's $275,000 you need in your account to avoid liquidation. If you're trading $10,000 in futures, I can guarantee you do not have $275,000 to survive this trade. That's why it's very critical when you trade this and you start losing ground and we start growing, and you do close your trade at loss before you get liquidated. Now, possibilities of actually going up. We go long, and you bought right now at 70,000, and we did got to $20 at a $10,000. Your growth can be $275,000 profit. So that's why it's kind of nice to grab something onto with a lower price and take the ride up, then actually take the ride down. Now, let's say you did grab a trade at 70 cents, was the price right now, but the price did drop to, let's say, 10 cents. Sorry. And you put in a $10,000. And you went long, but the price dropped down to 10 cents at a $10,000 trade. That means you will lose about $8,500, $71. But because you still have it, but as long as you have a $10,000 account, you will not be liquidated. That's why going long is a lot better choice, as long as you never trade more than you have on your account. And if you do, you never allow, when it starts dropping, to keep on holding on that account more than what you actually have in it. So please keep that in mind, because this can liquidate you before you actually see a reversal and we go back up. So I just showed you guys both sides of the scenario, and I showed you guys the possibility of the future trading. And actually in another video, I'll show you guys why futures is one of the cheapest way of trading from all other forms out there in Binance, and why a lot of you should consider it. But right now, I want to say, I want to bless every single one of you. I want to bless you guys' success. And you guys can actually have the wisdom and knowledge needed to reach that success. Till the next time.